GM, it's Chris. And if you've been struggling with getting positive reply rates on your email outreach, then I will talk about that, how to solve it, how to think about it as a copywriter and with human psychology in mind, so that people actually, one, open your emails, two, they respond to your cold emails, and three, so you can start closing some more clients. So this video is mainly for like the past self of me who were struggling a little bit with that, or anyone who is a freelancer, you're a consultant, you're a coach or something like that, and you're sending cold emails out, but you can't really get traction. I will talk about a few things that you can tweak so that it becomes easier for you, right? The first tip is obviously to contact the right person. So if you have a local agency, for example, like I have, then you really want to talk to the people or talk to the business owner who is responsible for the business. Because imagine that you are sending out a lot of cold emails to just like the regular info at whatever business address. And if they have employees, if that's like a beauty salon and they have like 3, 4, 5 employees working there, and someone reads it, they're like, and they throw it out, right? So you really need to first ensure that you're sending it to the right people who have a authoritative position to take a stand on this email. That is the first tip. It's super, I know it's basic, but it's super easy to ignore. And a lot of people actually don't do it. So I just wanted to clear that out of the picture so it's done right. The second tip is the positioning of how you're coming across. Because when a lot of people send emails and cold emails and they even automate the email, the thing is that they don't really think about what's in it for them, or they don't really think into the shoes of the reader who receives this. Because when you're sending emails, think about it, the other side of that screen that you are on is another human being who will read it. Maybe they're sitting on the toilet in the morning and scrubbing through the emails, even if they are like a CEO at a big company, because at the end of the day, we are all still humans. We do the same things, right? Everyone has to go to the toilet. So imagine that they're sitting there in the morning, half tired, they're just scrubbing through their emails, and your email pops up. And imagine that they are getting like 10, 15, 20, 50 emails a day, perhaps even. So how will you stand out? And if the vibe, the energy is already for them that, hey, I'm here to like take you money, or I'm here to pitch you something, or blah blah blah. If you take that angle, then you are going to the spam folder. You are going to be reported, and your email deliverables will be trash as well. So the angle of sending an email, like a communication, like a medium to someone, has to come from the right angle. And the right angle in this case is that you are there to benefit them in some kind of way. And the thing is that it needs to be relevant as well. So if you are sending mass emails and outreach to people who don't really need your service, or they are not in need of your help, yeah, obviously there's so much that you can see from looking from the outside in to a business, right? You can't see the details, so it's a best guess. But just doing like basic research on people and seeing if they even can use your service, I think is a good use of your time, so that your emails lands better with whoever is receiving it. It's the same basic thing. Like, one, are you contacting the right guy, right? The one that is in running the business. Two, is your service or whatever you're reaching out with applicable to them? Most people, they just like do the machine gun. They just scrape like thousands of leads, send a bunch of emails, and they're sending thousands of emails, and they're getting like zero replies, and not even positive replies, like zero, nothing, right? That's because the mark is off. So I've tried to automate cold emails before with Instantly, with creating workflows in Make.com or N8N, scraping and stuff like that. And if you want that machine gun approach to work, you will have to send like thousands of thousands and thousands of emails. Like I landed a good client, which I'm a good partner with right now, and we're growing the business for this online coach. But that took me like 7,000 emails once I looked back at it to land one client. I'm like, oh no, no, this is not it. So when I took the opposite approach to what everyone is doing right now, which is to send cold emails with AI and just like mass blast it out and just hope that someone picks up the fishing rod. Well, think about it. Like you're just doing it from the wrong angle. You are sending out emails, which is kind of spammy because you can't really customize them that well, and you're not building any goodwill with anyone, right? So how can you get into conversations with business owners, with CEOs, and to actually be taken serious if your emails are trash, right? So I've done that mistake in the past. So what worked for me instead is to, instead of blasting in a big market, just zoning in on that, almost like going manually, to be honest. And you can use AI and you can use tools to create a good prospecting list of people that you want to contact, which will be a fit for whatever you are providing, your service or. But from there, you probably need to spend a bit of time manually to go through each business and see like, okay, is this business, one, someone I want to help? Two, can I find the business owner? Three, are they in need of my service? If you can check those three boxes in your mind once you like check a website or you didn't check an online presence, then you're okay. I will send an email to this guy, right? That doesn't have to take that much time. So if you are sending like 50 emails a day as your outreach cadence, which I probably would recommend, I'm not there yet as well myself, so I'm working on getting up to 50. But doing this approach for me gets me way higher positive reply rates. Now I think I checked my stats on my email sender account, and I think I have like 25% reply rate or something like that, just because I am doing this approach instead of the mass email approach, and it just feels better for me as well. So that is the second tip I will do. The third tip actually is not to blast emails or doing email outreach to businesses only in the US. I think a lot of people they know that okay, there's a lot of cash in the US, or like it's a stronger economy compared to wherever else you are, or you might even be in the US, but you're sending emails to the entire country instead of just your local area. And I tested this, like as I said, for me it took a solid thousands of emails to land one good client. And cool, you can do that approach, but I don't like it. If you go more towards your local area or even just your country or a smaller segment of the country, for example, just a state, then the likelihood of them replying to you is so much higher, because if you can play into the email outreach that you are in that area, that you are a local, you tap into something called a tribal affiliation, which is a part of copywriting that plays into that humans want to belong to a specific group. And if they can see that you are a part of their tribe, that you are part of their community or their circle or their state or their country, that makes your email outreach land so much better, which bumps up the positive reply rate a lot. So when I switched to just going global and random, I more went to the specific laser focused approach. I got better results, to be honest. Yeah, it's more manual work. It sucks. It's not really fun to sit down and spend a lot of time doing these emails. And someone might sit in the morning on the toilet and just like delete after just glancing on it, right? That is the possibility, and it's the most case, right? So I think it's finding this balance point of going broad enough with enough volume to get results with outreach, but not doing it in such a volume that it's impersonal is just too wide. So I will focus down more on your local area instead, customize it a little bit, but then automating the rest after you have checked that you are actually contacting the right people. I know these seem like generic tips, but these tips, these angles are actually the things that gets you results for your cold email outreach. So if you haven't tried this or you haven't thought about this, then give it a try, give it a spin, and see your reply rates from cold email skyrocket, I will say. Or at least you will get a more better dent on what you are doing, a more productive use of your time. And also a last tip is to really like look at your analytics and see, because if you're sending thousands and thousands and thousands of emails, instead of just continuing to do that, realize that hey, something is wrong with either with the email sender accounts. Maybe you're landing in the spam folder, the subject line of your email, the body of your copy, the angle, the human psychology, are you benefit driven? Like all of those things, if you're just pumping out stuff in the hope that, hey, someone might just give me money, no, that's not how it works. You need to provide value. You need to provide benefit for someone else for them to actually take you serious. There are even more deeper layers to this game of actually nailing outreach, which a lot of people miss. But that is for another video. But if you need help with like copy, if you need help with the outreach game, if you need help with, because at the end of the day, even email outreach is just like a message. It's a medium, it's human psychology, it's copywriting. And that is why if you don't have the basics and the foundations for that, then you will probably struggle with this. So if you need that help, you have a work with me link below. Just reach out. Let's see if we can work together and fix your stuff, right? But otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye.